I guess you all know that John Lennon, together with the three other fellows named McCartney and Harrison and Starr, were responsible for becoming, I guess, the most written about, most listened to, most imitated musical group of the 60s. And for about 8 years, they were leaders in the musical world. And not only that, but it probably affected what a decade of young people looked like and thought about and dreamed of. And they achieved the absolute pinnacles of success. They were even honored by the Queen, an honor which they eventually returned, I believe. I'm sure it doesn't come as a surprise to anyone that the Beatles are no longer together. In recent months, John Lennon John has sort of surfaced in the underground press, where he gave a long interview in Rolling Stone magazine, in which he talked with a great deal of candor and some bitterness, I suppose, about the old days. And his wife, Yoko Ono, is maybe one of the most controversial ladies since the Duchess of Windsor. Wally Simpson kept the Duke from becoming the king. Tonight they are, however, quite above ground, and I'm very pleased to welcome them here. Will you welcome, please, John Ono Lennon and Yoko Ono How are you?
Nervous, but okay, thank you.
Are you really?
Yes.
Now,
you?
is that a little bit?
Yeah.
But it isn't as if we've never met, because we did meet once.
We did meet in a dingy hotel room.
Right. So you're Jack Lemmon.
Yes. And you're Fred Astaire. Or is it Orson Welles?
I'm not Fred Astaire. Yoko, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good, good, okay. Is there anything that you want to know about me to start off with that we could, just to sort of get
what do you do for a living?
To get the... Actually, this is my profession.
I know you lived here.
Yeah, I practically do. I hardly ever get out of here. The chair collapses into a bed, and
It must be hard.
Yoko sat in that very chair.
Well, I bet many people have sat in this.
Well, a lot of people have sat in it, but I was just thinking...
I saw the show. It was very nice. Very
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one thing they forgot to plug, so I thought I'd plug it for them, and that's their new Christmas record. We wish you Merry Christmas. War is over. Get yours now. Thank you.
Is there such a record?
Yes, he made it after he was on the show, so he didn't get a chance to talk about it.
Oh. Is there a slight undercurrent of hostility between you and other members
really,
of your group? No, you can
John,
tell me. I mean, I wouldn't. I'm not going to tell anybody.
No, I just thought I'd take the opportunity and promote his record for him.
Mm-hmm.
War is over if you want it. Happy Christmas.
Yeah.
And Apple Records.
Well, are you in any sense in contact with each other? I mean...
Yeah, I saw him last night, actually, at the premiere of Raga, which is what we should talk about, maybe.
Okay. But I mean, what did you say?
I said, hi, hello.
Yeah. Do you have writers who think of these things, or do you just have them ready and you can just snap them right out like that?
We have writers home,
and
rooms full of them.
What did he come back with right away?
With, hi.
Yeah? Well, let's talk about that for a second, because you know, Yoko, you've even been called the Dragon Lady, who the lady who brought the Beatles apart and took them all apart. I have trouble with English.
Can we please give her the credit for all the nice music that George made and Ringo made and Paul made and I've made since they broke up? If she did it.
That's true. And now...
it turned out all right, didn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway,
but you're aware of that. I mean, that the press always saw you as the wedge that was driven in... I don't know how you can drive a wedge in 3 places or whatever, how many spaces there are between 4 people, but that was the... There are millions of girls who would love to have met, let alone married, one of the 4. Any one of the 4, probably, but certainly a lot of them...
Well, I resent to think of him as one of the 4, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, or any one of the 4, etc. Because I just met him as another artist and all that, and I didn't, you know, particularly realize that part of it, really.
You were a Beatles fan before, or would you say you were a Lennon fan before?
Neither.
Neither. Didn't care for
She
either
didn't
of
really
them?
know about us.
No,
the
I
only
really
name
didn't
she knew
know.
was Ringo, because it means apple in Japanese and so. Ringo means apple.
Ringo means apple.
Yeah.
Did you know that
So-
when you named your company Apple?
No, no.
Oh. It was just one of those happy accidents.
Just one of those happy apples, yes.
Happy applesauce.
Right.
Right number of
Happy
syllables.
Christmas.
Ringo, if you spell it sideways, spells groin.
Yes. Star backwards is rats.
I know, and there are a lot of... Do you do those things too? I find that I'm
when
always...
I go along the road in the car, I'm always doing the signpost backwards. Anyway, she didn't split the Beatles because how could one girl split the Beatles or one woman? You know, the Beatles were drifting apart on their own. You know.
Can you remember when you realized that it was inevitable that you would split up?
No,
First,
no. It's
was
like
there anyone-
saying, you know,
Yeah.
did you remember falling in love? Not quite.
Yeah.
No. It just sort of happens.
How long was it fun?
Yeah, well, everything's fun off and on, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I suppose it could have gone on being fun off and on, or it could have gone worse, I don't know. It's just that when you grow up, you know, we don't want to be the crazy gang, which they might know over here, which is British, or the Marx Brothers, which is sort of being dragged on stage playing She Loves You when we've got, you know, asthma and tuberculosis, and when we're 50, you know. Here they are again, yesterday, all my troubles. So a long time ago, I said that I didn't want to be singing She Loves You when I'm 30. I said that when I was about 25 or something, which in a roundabout way meant that I wouldn't be doing whatever I was doing then, you know, at 30. Well, I was 30 last October, and that's about when my life changed, really.
And especially for John, I can say that he's at least sort of outgrown, you know, whatever they were in, you know. Because I think it's very difficult for four artists who are so brilliant and talented to be together and do everything together, you know. I mean, just impossible almost. So whatever they were doing was almost miraculous, you know, that they were together.
When you, if you and John and Yoko do meet, though, you're not really
No.
gritting your teeth.
No, we're good friends.
Yeah. Well, all of that about her being the problem with the group, is that slightly silly that one woman could be so much of a problem?
No, the group had problems long before Yoko came along. Many problems, folks.
Can you remember who was the first to say, you know, I bet we'll break up one day, that this won't go on, that this is sort of a dream, that we can't all stick together?
I don't really remember anything about the Beatle days. It seems like a sort of, you know, previous incarnation when I think about it.
And a long time ago, like
Yeah.
another life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you regret any of it?
No. Don't regret really anything, you know. I mean, that's what happened, and it was good, you know. It was good, but it was also good to carry on, do something else. In fact, it was a relief.
Sometimes they say you...
I mean, some
you-
people can't understand that, you know, because Beatles was such a big deal. They can't understand why we should actually enjoy splitting up. But there's a time, you know, when people grow up and they leave home or whatever they do, and they go for a change, you know, and it was really time for a change.
Don't you think a lot of people just envied the idea of being world celebrities, though, and being...
Well, some people, you know, would go on and on forever, singing the same tune and playing the same gig if they were making some money, you know.
Yeah.
But I think we'd all rather give that up and try going on our own and try doing something we really want to do. And if we don't make it, then hard luck. But as it happens, we've all got such a lot of like goodwill hanging over from being Beatles.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably wouldn't have me on the show if I hadn't have been one. Let's face it.
No, you wouldn't get here on looks alone. Do you...
We will return after this message
Oh, now,
from
wait
our
a
local
minute.
station.
Just because that comes on doesn't mean you have to do it right away.
Oh,
Do you feel like doing it now?
I just did it.
Oh, right.
Oh, I see. 4 or 5 minutes.
We
leading,
would-
4 and 5.
He's right, folks. We will return after this message from our local station. See, when you say it, then you know. Talking with George Harrison, who wants to know if it's over yet. Do you think you might have been the most anxious of the four to get out? I get that impression from reading about it.
Maybe,
Well, yeah.
maybe, yeah.
Yeah. I wonder
It was
why.
well because over the years, I had such a lot of songs mounting up that I really wanted to do, but I only got my quota of 1 or 2 tunes per album. And that way I would have had to have recorded about 100 Beatle albums just to get out the tunes I had in 1965.
Were you held down by the other fellas?
Well, very subtly, yes.
Yeah? How would
not
they do
really,
it? I mean,
they didn't strap me down or anything like that.
Yeah.
But no, it was just the way things happened, It started off I didn't write, they wrote, then I started to write, and it was sort of trying to push in a bit.
You don't actually read or write music, do you?
No.
Well, then when you say write,
Well,
and
write.
if you have a tune that hits you, how do you get it down?
Just keep it in your head, Just work it out on the piano or on the guitar.
But then do you tape it, or what preserves
Sometimes put it on tape. But usually you can remember it in your head if you don't. I write the words down and remember the tune in my head.
it? Do you wish you'd studied composition and
No.
all of that? You don't need it.
Well, maybe it would help somewhere. I probably wouldn't have to pay a copyist.
Yeah. But you don't miss it. I mean, you can...
No.
It would just help. Maybe
Because
might
it's
save
not
time,
really
so-
sort of music,
Yeah.
It's like, there's a difference between people who write music and classical things and big arrangements to the sort of thing I do. It's just really, it's very simple.
And the other guys, most of the melodies were John's or Paul's that were done done on the album.
That was funny when John was on. Every time you had a commercial break and then it came back part 20 and they keep playing Paul's songs.
Just to put our guests at ease, I guess, is what we do. But they always talk about you as the real musician of the group, and if you haven't studied music, what do they mean by that? That you're more
I don't know
serious
what
about
they
music?
mean.
You've seen
I
that,
don't
though,
know.
haven't you? That they
It's
say.
probably because I didn't smile so much.
To be a real musician, you have to be sour, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's kind of... There was also the theory that you attracted more girls by being the quiet one, in the same sense that a guy at a party who sits in the corner will have the girl come over and say, "Oh, what's the matter?"
It's
You know,
just
and this was not a calculated
dirty rumor.
philosophy on your part. Was it?
Just a rumor, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Paul used to get them all with his,
We don't have much time left. Does anyone have any idea how much time we do have? Let me confirm quickly a couple rumors with you.
Yes.
One of them, has it ever been settled whether Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds was a code for anything?
It never was, and nobody believes me. I even saw some famous star introducing, I've forgotten who it was, introducing a Lennon McCartney show, and it was Mel Torme saying about how Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds was about LSD. This is the truth. My son came home with a drawing and showed me this strange-looking woman flying around. I said, "What is it?" He said, "It's Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds." And I thought, that's beautiful. I immediately wrote a song about it. The song had gone out, the whole album had been published, and somebody noticed that the letters spelt out LSD. And I had no idea about it. And of course, after that, I was checking all the songs to see what the letters spelt out.
Yeah.
They didn't spell out anything, none of the others, and it wasn't about that at all,
They could do that. Eleanor Rigby
But nobody
was,
believes, you see. Yeah.
stood for
There was Henry
erotic
the
reading.
Horse in a song I wrote called Mr. Kite. The lyrics, which I got most of it off, was an old poster for an old-fashioned circus, from the 1800s. And it was all about Pablo Fanke's fair, and the horse was there. And they said Henry the Horse was horse, which I didn't know anything about then,
Happiness is the warm gun.
And Happiness is a Warm Gun was another one, they said, which was banned on the radio. They said it was about shooting up drugs. And it was the front of a gun magazine which said, "Happiness is a warm gun." They're advertising guns. I thought it was so crazy that I made a song out of it.
Do you ever think of anything, I don't know if you knew Janis Joplin well or Jimi Hendrix
We
or
didn't
all,
meet,
but is
but
it...
she sent me a birthday tape on my birthday. Last birthday, Yoko asked all different people to make a tape for me, and she was one of them. And we got it after she died. It arrived in the post. That she was singing "Happy Birthday" to me in the studio.
What do you think could be done about drug overdosing, in
Well,
or out of the profession of
I
music?
think the basic thing nobody asks is, why do people take drugs of any sort, from alcohol to Aspros to hard drugs? And that question has to be resolved first before you think, well, what can we do for the poor drug addict? Why do we and you and anybody have to have these accessories to normal living to live? That means there's something wrong with society that's making us so pressurized that we cannot live in it without guarding ourselves against it. So it's that basic, the
More
problem.
communication.
I think if people are allowed to be a bit more free and express themselves, they wouldn't have to inhibit themselves by taking drugs to not be hurt. People take drugs and drink so they don't feel what's going on around them. And
Total freedom for everybody is our goal, you know. That way, you know, it'll be a utopia.
people are
Yes, if we
frightened
can
of
get it.
freedom. They think freedom, oh, there'll be excesses. Of course there would be excess to an extent, and then it would settle down. The way the porno films don't pull so many people in now. So what? It'll level out. And all forms of freedom will be the same as that. If people are allowed to be completely free, it will level out, and people would be less inhibited and not be frightened of each other, and wouldn't have to take drugs to prevent being hurt by each other.